They call him Seatin, the man of legends.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a guide for Abyssal Crusaders marks. In this video we're going to be talking about Abyssal Crusaders marks, how you can farm them, what you should spend them on, and all that very exciting stuff. So Abyssal Crusaders marks are kind of the dungeon currency of Nightmare Tide, the expert dungeon currency. They're kind of an upgraded version of Imperial Slayers marks if you were kind of in Storm Legion. So yeah, you can earn a maximum of 12,500 of them every week, and basically to put it very simply, if you have patron status, you can very easily cap them. If you do not have patron status, you can get very close to the cap, but you will pretty much not be able to cap them each week. So you are at a slight disadvantage, but to be honest, you don't really need that many of them, and literally like 4-6 weeks in, if you've been farming experts, you've been getting lucky with the drops, then you will run out of stuff to spend your marks on. So over the due course of the expansion, they are going to become something that everybody's going to be stockpiling in quite a while. So there's not really too much of a great rush to get them. But anyway, mainly this video is probably aimed at people who don't have patron status and want to cap the marks, or people who are looking for a bit of spending advice. So to put it very simply, there are two types of ways to get them. There's the weekly ways and there's the daily ways. Now weekly, you currently have 5 different active quests. This is going to be moved to 7 shortly with the release of Conquest. So in Drom, well, you can pick up all of these quests in Flagel Plaza, which is in Dromheim. You have one to complete 30 instant adventures, very easy quest, rewards 500. You have one to complete 4 zone events in Nightmare Tide zones, very easy, again, rewards 500. All of these quests, by the way, reward 500, just as, a bit of a heads up. And then you have one to, I'm not entirely sure where it is. It's here. So it's kill 20 bosses in a Nightmare Rift, the Grand Experience. Again, a very easy one to do, and boom, 500 marks. Now, to actually unlock this quest, I mean, I've talked about this previously, but you have to do the entire Nightmare Rift storyline, which can be found around any Nightmare Rift kind of vendors. Basically, any circle that you see that looks like the one in front of me now will offer the Nightmare Rift story quest. There is a 7 quest story chain, and that will unlock the weekly to kill 20 bosses. And then you have the final 2 PvP ones, which I will find the location of them. They are here. So you have Carnage Ascended, which is kill 1,000 people in Warfronts. If you wipe in a raid, counts towards that as well. So that is something interesting to bear in mind, that literally you're going to rack up kills just by progressing in raids for this one. And then you also have Guns for Hire, which requires you to win the selected Warfronts. So those are the 5 weekly quests that reward Abyssal Crusaders marks. So combined, they will give you 2,500 Abyssal Crusaders marks. Now, bear in mind, sort of for your Abyssal Crusaders marks gain, etc., providing that you're in a guild, you're always going to have a perk called Cash Finder, which basically, increases the amount of currency you gain by 5%. So, add like an extra 5% onto that, and you're getting more marks, essentially. So, yeah, a bit of a pro and very simple tip, which is just ensure that you are in a guild. Now, we go on to kind of the daily ways that you can gain Abyssal Crusaders marks. Now, basically, every day you get a random Warfront charge and a random Expert Dungeon charge. Now, these can be accumulated and kind of like burned all in one mad session of either PvP or PvP. The charges are completely different, so you get one of each to burn every day. And burning one of each day gives you 400 Abyssal Crusaders marks. So each day via both a random Warfront and completing a random expert dungeon, tasks that can essentially be done probably like between them easily in an hour. Once you get a bit more geared and get a pre-made group together, you can actually get most expert dungeons down to a tight kind of 10 to 15 minute clear, and that is not really all that difficult. And random Warfronts, you actually do have to win the Warfront to get the reward there, so it is a bit more of a difficult endeavor to do, because you're never guaranteed to get the win and you can have a really horrible losing streak. But find some friends, group up, PvP with them, and boom, you got your charges and marks each day available from both of those sources. So that's pretty damn awesome. The other way that you can get Abyssal Crusaders marks on a daily basis is the level 65 Chronicle called Shadow from Beyond. Now, this for most people probably takes about 10 to 20 minutes to clear, and on completion will award you 50 Abyssal Crusaders marks. So to be honest, in comparison to kind of like doing the war fronts and the dungeons, it's fairly low priority. But if you do want to get every mark that you can, then go for Shadow from Beyond. I mean, Shadow from Beyond has added benefits like reputation tokens, and also it's an alright way to generate currency, as a lot of the bosses drop plant items that you can sell, or alternately you can break down the items for rune crafting materials and use them to craft runes for yourself if you have the rune crafting profession, or sell the materials on the auction house. So that's a bit of a additional tip as well. But yeah, it really is as simple as that, guys. 5 weekly quests, 2 main daily ways of getting them, war fronts and dungeons, and also Shadow from Beyond. So if you basically do not have Patron, then you're probably going to hit about 10k marks a week, providing that you do everything. Now, if you have Patron, you get a 55% increase on the amount of Abyssal Crusaders marks you get. You also get the bonus Warfront charges and the bonus dungeon charges. So capping your marks each week is ridiculously quick and easy. You just kind of like... You can either fully PvE or fully PvP. You don't really have to do both, to be honest, and you're gonna get capped. It's just a lot easier and more straightforward if you do have that. And to be honest, I can do everything quite passively and get capped as a patron. In regards to using like token vials for Abyssal Crusaders marks, I would say they're an absolute waste, as if you do have patron status, it's ridiculously easy to count them on a weekly basis. If you do have token marks, just save them for your void stones. So a bit of a tip there. And of course, token vials don't work on the best in slot currency, which are the fragments of horror, which we'll talk about in another video soonish. So anyway, what should you spend your Abyssal Crusaders marks on? So, you know, you've got the marks, what do you do now? So I kind of, this is, you know, once again, this is my personal bit of advice. I kind of have like a priority list for gearing my characters on what I spend my marks on. Now, number one on their priority list is when I get a character to 65, I want to gear it up, I want to get the 4-piece synergy as fast as I can. And the cheapest way to get the 4-piece synergy is upgrading any epic drops that you get in expert. So for example, you know, this is the upgraded helm coif of the old shadow, and basically it costs about it's anywhere between about 6,000 to 8,000 Abyssal Crusaders marks to actually upgrade an epic piece so that it counts towards the synergy. But it's kind of very important that you do so, because the synergy is a huge DPS increase. So what I'll do is, first on that list is upgrade epic expert item drops. So make sure you upgrade them, because those items are probably going to last you a really long time, and once they're fully upgraded they count towards the synergy. You can put big enchantments on them, big dream orbs, you know, you can really put a investment of kind of money and platinum on those items, because you know they're going to last you a while, and overall that's going to, you know, increase your performance by quite a bit. Now, the kind of second thing depends on your kind of lust and desire to get into raiding. Now, if, for example, you want to get into raiding really fast, then what I'm going to recommend is you buy filler gear. Just basically anything that can quickly get you up to 1,000 hit, because once you get to 1,000 hit, you know, you can start farming first boss in the 20 man and first boss in the 10 man. You can get possibly a chance of raid loot each week. But for kind of the more long-term people and people who want to kind of really progress their character, I'm actually gonna say that the upgraded crafted cape will be a much better investment. So via, I believe it is both armor smith and outfitting, you can craft these upgraded capes. So as you can see here, I can craft this cape and then upgrade it once using a metal amender, very cheap to initially craft. So I can upgrade it from blue to epic. Let's just look at the upgrade path now. So this is the blue one, which you can buy for like 50 plat or craft for even cheaper than that, and then you can upgrade it to this one, which is the one that I currently have. Now, upgrading the cape, it's pretty much going to be best in slot unless you get really lucky with the PvP capes that drop. Like, most of the crafted capes are going to last you absolutely ages. So what I do is I always kind of make it a priority to upgrade my cape, and then what I can do is I can put a really big Dream Orb enchant on it and a really big Rune enchantment on it, thus, you know, boosting my DPS even more. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. So I'd say that's kind of like second on my list of priority. Apart from that, you could possibly go around kind of upgrading like various blue pieces that you have to epic. I mean, it's probably better to upgrade stuff that actually drops in an well, it's actually cheaper to upgrade like blue drops that drop in an expert dungeon, and sometimes they can be a bit better. So yeah, just sort of keep that in mind as well. And generally, apart from that, it's kind of like just prioritize stuff where needed, to be honest. You know, if you want to upgrade a part so it gets the synergy bonus, then go for that. If you need an item with a bit more hit on, then go for that. But generally speaking, there isn't that much to spend your Abyssal Crusaders marks on, and most of like them will go on the accelerators to actually upgrade the gear you get dropped that actually drops in a dungeon, because like the majority of gear that drops in a dungeon is best in slot. However, there are a few pieces like for example the belt for most classes that is probably better to buy just directly from the Abyssal Crusaders mark vendor or just a Rift store. So yeah, guys, that is just my basic advice on how to, one, gain Abyssal Crusaders marks, and two, how to spend them. So just to recap, you know, gaining them, it's all about those weeklies and dailies. Spending them, you want to go for you want to upgrade your expert epics. Any drops that you get on there, those are like super priority in beast mode to upgrade, because they're going to last you a long time. Then I'd probably suggest go for the upgraded cape, and then any additional pieces you need to kind of like just fill a gear to maybe get the hit to raid or the stats to raid, or maybe replace your crappy green item, and then kind of just upgrade any blue items to epic just to get that minimal stat increase that, you know, can really help in a raid environment, especially when you're progressing on the second boss in Mount Shreks like Jinnerscoff. You need every ounce of DPS that you can bleed out of your character. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or anything, leave them in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please do leave a like. I really do appreciate those. Apart from that, take care and have an absolutely great day.